So here's the book I wrote, UFOs over Colorado. I dug real deep into various UFO organizations, contacted a bunch of UFO researchers, got some original cases of my own. And let's just start digging into what I think are the top 20 Colorado cases. And all right, and now I'm going to move to case number 8, which I am sure you heard of, the case of Stan Romanek. It's certainly a very controversial case. And I think it has detractors and supporters for sure. I will tell you that I did speak with Stan personally for over an hour. I spoke with his wife as well. So yeah, I know Stan Romanek is a controversial case, but I have to tell you, he was a very nice man when I spoke to him. And he's written a couple of books about what happened to him. And I felt like his case was important to cover because it certainly did have a huge impact when it came out. And how it all began was on September 20th, 2001, when Stan was working as an assistant manager at a retail store in Denver. And the store was about to close when people came rushing into the store and said a UFO was hovering overhead. And he went outside and saw a very large glowing sphere. It was about 30 feet wide and hovering directly over the building. And as soon as he saw it, it shot straight up. This really surprised Stan because this was his third sighting in a year. And it was that evening he went home and had his first abduction experience. People often say that, if they're going to abduct me, why don't aliens just, knock on the front door and ask? Well, that's actually what happened in Stan's case. There was people knocking on the door. He woke up and he found his sister standing in the living room. The door was opened and these weird figures were walking in. His sister remembers this incident. Stan does have a lot of witnesses to support his story, including family and friends, all of whom still support his story, by the way. And this was his first abduction experience. And these three figures walked inside. They were skinny, short, large almond-shaped eyes with large heads. And they led him through the house. He fought with them and fell unconscious and woke up the next morning, but thought it was a dream, but found strange marks on his body, abrasions on his wrists and on his ankles. They fluoresced under a black light. And his sister recalled having a weird dream where three strange men came in through the front door. And it was following this, he began having regular experiences. And this is when he started photographing these objects and was able to get a number of very interesting photos. He went under hypnosis, recalled being taken on board into a rounded room where he was physically examined. He was consumed with fear, and the beings said, "It's okay, just calm down, we won't hurt you." And he started writing mathematical symbols around this time. He got a lot of messages that there would be future disasters striking our planet. That's certainly something I've heard many times. As he says, he saw, quote, "images of winds so strong, they scoured the roads and highways off the earth, tidal waves covering entire cities. There were fires everywhere. The whole planet seemed to be in convulsions as disaster over disaster overtook it." So Stan started to take some really interesting photos. The two above photos appeared on his camera after having gone missing for 2 weeks, and he had no memory of taking these pictures. If true, these are the first alien selfies that I know of. But the below pictures were ones that he did take. And it was then that his case became very controversial, and he started getting a lot of detractors. Nevertheless, he continued to have abductions. On one occasion, he had hurt his leg and had to have surgery. and woke up and there was these scars on his leg. He went to the doctor and the doctor was amazed because his leg had been apparently healed. He does have some landing trace evidence as well that supports his case. So yeah, it's a very controversial case. One time he was taken, he was returned, he says, wearing a woman's nightie. So I don't know if that was a mistake or not, or if the ETs were playing a joke or what's going on here. He also had an implant removed from his body, which was studied by scientists. The scientists were really impressed because this implant had a type of amino acid surrounding it, which is actually used to coat artificial joints and pacemakers so that the body won't reject them. So yeah, I know it's a controversial case for sure. But when I talked to him, he seemed very sincere. I think one of the reasons it's controversial is because there was an incident where he was apparently caught on videotape throwing a pencil or something and then saying it was moved by itself. And then he was also accused of pornography, which he denies. He says he was being set up, which I wonder about because he wouldn't be the first witness to have been set up. He did receive a number of threats, was being surveilled, but Dwight Connolly, editor of the MUFON Journal, certainly supported this case, and many people still support it. Last I heard, Stan Romanek is in very poor health. He's no longer gone public with his case. But in any case, yeah, he was accused by the Department of Homeland Security of pornography and was found guilty and was sentenced to a halfway house. And yeah, last I heard, he's not doing well. He's in very poor health, but his family is still supporting his case. So that's why I included it, because, whether you believe him or not, this case definitely did have an impact on the UFO field.